The moon is not there anymore. Well, the wolf, he's still howling at the moon. So regardless of whether you think your message has been received or not, the moon is not far behind. Okay? The moon is always out there. Because you don't see it. Because its clarity is not there. Because it seems to bother everybody then when it is there. Because it's all up in the mind. Don't you know how it works with the mind? First you think with one mind, then you think with the other mind. Of course the first 5 minutes of this video is going to be upside down. Let me tell you a little bit. Okay? This is me. This is MrTacpans, who he wants to be. This is me. You read everybody else's books, so why don't you just listen in on this one? And maybe, just maybe, a chance, a hope and a wish that what I say is what you want. A hope and a wish that what I say that what you want is what you get. A hope and a wish is all a hope and a wish. That's all everything is in our life. It's a hope and a wish. And when there's a possibility, that hope and that wish turn everything around in excitement. But everything falls again. Nothing stays up. The bubbles always go down. So you must learn to travel the roads on an even plane. Because you know what goes up must come down. So it must be the same in the universe. So we think, with this, do you see this on my head? I'm going to show you something about this. If this was on a dice, and you had to go to the 1 and 6 dice, which is an opposite of each other, which makes 7, you would go, here would be 1, and here would be 6 on the dice. Now another 7 on the dice is 3 and 4. So if you had to do 3 and 4 on the dice, it'd be 1 here and 1 over here. Now if you had to do 2 and 5 on the dice, which is 7, is 1 here and 1 here. And that's your central thinking. It makes the letter K. At the same time, you can see there's a cube that's created here. That's what I'm going to try to show you next. I'm going to try to oh, there I am. I don't like me. This is not me. This is not going to be a very even video because I didn't study any of this. I did a video yesterday and it didn't work. It went away. Poof! An hour and 10 minutes. You see, sometimes I speak too much, too long, and sometimes I don't speak about enough things. So what's going on in Syria? Let's bubble this up before we get down to show you some designs that I have made that fell all over the ground. So I'll just bend down and pick them up and show you what kind of person I am. The spirits, the earth. We are the earth. We are engulfed, okay, with the breath inside of us. It's through everything. It gets into everything through our blood. So therefore, we are automatically breathing in the space that we are in, taking away that air, but we're exhausting at the same time. We take it and we give it. We are engulfed. So if this element, the elements of this universe, are actually made up of small, tiny particles that actually can connect together, that means we're connected together. That means we can be changed. Okay, we do not have the advanced elements to make these changes right now, okay, because we're too big, small in the universe, too big. We can't get down to that nanny nano right now, but nanny and granny are still here in this world. So anyways, the other one I like to believe that you couldn't be better than the cat in the hat and the fish out of the bowl, right? Do you know why that fish is out of the bowl? Because you jump out of your mother's stomach, her water broke, and all of a sudden, from drinking that water inside and outside of your body through the water, you're now drinking air, direct, not filtrated through the water. Wouldn't it be different when air passes through water? Yes? No? Especially through the salt water? What happens to that air when it passes through the salt water? Something to do with air. Hold on a second. Stop. You got to put this on hold. I have to breathe. Oh. I don't. I am. Oh, I am breathing. Oh, pretty cool, eh? What a book talks to you. You need a coffee right now? Go get a coffee. I'll wait for you to come back. How many books are going to wait on the same page? Tut, tut, tut. The clock is ticking, but it wasn't up the clock the mouse ran. The mouse ran, okay? If you listen to it, hickory-dickory-dock, the mouse ran up the clock, okay? The time ran down, okay, is what happened. The mouse ran up the clock to wind up the clock to wind down time. He spun the clock up. We were never going forward in time. We were going backwards in time because he spun around the clock to go for a certain amount of time. And when that handle spins all the way back, it's the end of time until you spin it again. But the conscience will not turn the handle this time. All spins have run out. The 9 lives of the cat are up. The exchange service, Super Horse, Super Train, 55, Freedom, 234. Why 234? Because reverse 234 to 432 and its 666 system are electronics. Why R? Because 666 is R. It's the 18th letter. But it sounds like AR. It's the archangel of the R. Why is it the archangel? Because the H implant the R, you have an arc. Since Archangel Raphael is with AH and R, why not put them together? Coincidence? In this world, if the stars match, it ain't a coincidence. That's pretty far away. So make me, my coincidence, this big just because you won't accept it the way it is. It's not a coincidence. It's fate. What I created yesterday to what I did this morning to what I am saying to you right now is all about what I did yesterday. But what I'm doing right now is how it got to be, and this is what it's all about, what you're hearing. Fate. Another one, any given Sunday. Have you ever heard it in French? In French, they go, mo, 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 M-O, M-O, M-O. It means word. M-O is the 13th letter, and the 15th letter is the 28th letter altogether. Beta, heaven, okay, which is the triangular world sitting this way, okay? And it also is E-I-N for Einstein. That's what it is, M-O, and that's the word. It's all about intelligence. Central intelligence, CIA, creation, birth of the angels, CIA. Don't you understand that? 3, CIA is 319. 913, 91 is the spirit, 3 is the creation number. Oh my God, that's insane. I have been playing with so many numbers, and this is all about connection for communication. It's all about the Suez Canal and breaking in to have friends with Israel and then spread out into the Arab West and then totally dismantle this world piece by piece because no one's looking to go to war. Seriously speaking, no one's really looking to go to war. But guess what? We've got one, thank God, person, country in this entire world, okay, that must stand up and will stand up because they've stood up since the beginning of television and time. And time begins at 007. Why is it 007? Because the 555 passage become closed passage, and you set up the 7 right in the center to go to both sides. 007, 3, passage of 1 and 3, making the 7 days, and then it's the opposite way. I'm going to show you in a photo what that looks like. Okay, so the passage of time, what was I talking about? But that's okay, it doesn't really matter, does it? The passage of time is upon us. How do I know? Because 6 years ago in about 8 months, it came to me, and I studied it, and I learned it, and I understood it. And all the numbers work. So what do you do when the numbers work? Do I have a mathematical equation for anything I've done? Yeah. It's called in between. Multiplication, in between, and division. Add them up. Use the alphabet the way you can. Try and see if there's more than 2 words in a letter. Try and see why you can make the letter bigger. And do it on graph paper because the lines don't tell a lie. It doesn't matter how wide, how big, as long as they're square. Okay? And draw diagonal lines. And they all got to fit the corners, and corners have to fit, and they have to create X's and stars, and you have to be able to create in between. And by the time you're finished, all you have is these little triangular things like pyramids, and if you put them together, okay, they make a little square hole, like a passage. And then there's little passages all over the place. It's empty. It's empty in this position. You see this little thing? I put 4 fingers together, but the space is still empty in between. That's how space is created. There you go. There's your space. 6 million miles. Poof! Just like that. So Russia's got to stick their eye in there. Don't take your eye out of it, the Russian Red Army. You got yellow on your suit. That stain of yellow doesn't come from the rust. It comes from the Christ element, the energy for understanding what's deep in the hearts. And when you go to the Olympics and you see the Russians on top and the Chinese on top, because they know how to go deep, deep down to see the reality of the truth. And they know they got to put a foot down. And right now, and it's time, and I didn't call the time, the bad people are calling the shots, don't you know? On these last commandments, the bad people call all the last shots until they shoot themselves in the foot. In the foot. I got a boo-boo in the foot. But you know what? It's not only going to hurt that foot, but the money it's going to cost to do whatever it does. What's the difference? What did it cost the bankers money? They put it there, they give it to them, they give it to them, they give it back to them, they give it to them again. How can a war ever cost the bankers any money? It doesn't make any sense. Obviously, they make the government pay for it. They give them back the money. They own the companies that are selling it back to the companies, so they lose all the bullets and the tanks that they waste, and they don't get back that money. But who gets that money then? Well, the workers get all that money, and then they go to the stores, and they own the stores, so they get back the money that way. But they don't get back all the money. But at the end, it doesn't matter. They got territory. Territory is cash. Oh, my God. Okay, so let me pick this up off the floor and try and see if I can show you something that I have designed. Okay, in the first picture, what I did, it's the Illuminati sign, okay? It's the Illuminati sign. If you look at the lines down to here and all the way up, and the other one down to here and all the way up. All I did is close off this box here, on the bottom here, on the bottom here, on the bottom here. Okay? Now, what happens now is this is a dice on the inside. It's standing up this way because there's more points. Okay, you see the flat part in between here? You see the angle of it? Well, that would be our Earth cutting from the South Pole not to lose too much ground, the way it's supposed to be. Okay, but our actual Earth is losing ground in the South Pole like this. Okay, that angle over here. We're not supposed to be. We're supposed to be like this. Because we gain more ground, there's less in the south here, and all the points are equal, but you lose less ground to this extremity south point. Because if you put this at the bottom here, the south point would be here for this distance. Okay? But when you even it out, this is all the south, and this is all the north. Okay? 7, 9, 9, 7. We're not playing with the world in between. 7 and 9 is 16 is 7. 7 and 9 is 16 is 7. 7 and 9, 16 is 7. 7 and 9, 16 is 7. 9 and 9 is 18. 1 and 8 is 9. 7 and 7 is 14. 1 and 4 is 5. 7, 7, 7, 7, 9, 5. 9 and 5 in a letter count are 42 each. It's the birth, it's the passage. It automatically brings in the one spirit. 42 is the letter count for 9 and 5 that represent the 4-7 worlds. 28. 28 is for Einstein. This is for the passage. Okay? 4 and 2 is 6. Man. 2 times 4 is 8. The heaven. 8 and 6 is 14. The N pass into this world. The E pass into this world. E and D. Okay? I've done it again over here. The in between, you get MrTacpans. 7, 6, 8. 7, 2, 6, 8. This is how come you get MrTacpans, because you get this corner down here, and you own this world up here, you own this heaven over here, and you own this 6 man over here. And that's how we get 7286. Okay, in that. Now what I'm going to show you over here, wow, it's like I'm rushing through this. It's like I'm a big Russian, man. Holy crap, I got to break out of this and get back. I got some coffee here. Yeah, the Russians definitely have to put their dukes up. I'm sorry, I don't trust anybody else, and I feel like crying when I tell you this. You can't trust anybody, but they have been probably the most honest people in this entire world. They didn't hide anything. Just because somebody discovered something, of what they were trying to do, they called it that they were being spies, and they weren't being spies at all. You're only a spy if somebody spies on you. How can you be a spy if no one's spying on you? We got to spy on you long enough, because if you don't sit long enough, then you can't blame them for anything. So you sit long enough and you spy on them. So now you think they're spies, because everything they do, you're looking to see it's a spy element. This is why they're doing it, because they're spies. No. You become a spy because if one became a spy first, it was because the other one was cheating the elements of the world, causing a second spy. Spy versus spy, black and white. The white one you don't see because he's only there to spy for the goodness of everybody. But the black spy, he's a black spider, and he's out to cut the yellow, blue, and red right off your string. That's how he got his colors, because he grabs all the elements for himself. It's not that he's bad, he's just very intelligent. And doesn't care. He acts like the universe belongs to him, like he's in control of the universe. Now, over and over, I keep getting 6, 22, 6, and that's the dog, that's the card, that's the game, that's the queen. And I keep looking at her picture, and the money adds up to 41 cents. She's on the back, her head. 41 cents, the number 14 or 41, look it up, Sesame Street. It says street. 4114 Sesame Street. Look it up. 14, okay, is the end pass, and 41 would be going around and back to the end pass because it's 27, the number, which is the letter Y, which is the passage in between the A, Y, and the A, Zaya. Z-Y-A, the last and the first number of the alphabet. That's the way it works. Yeah, so I'm going to show you this. So this is how this works, okay? This over here. On the dice, all dice go to 7. 1 and 6, 2 and 5, 3 and 4. 1 and 6 go over here. This is the design it makes, okay? 2 and 5 go to here. 4 and 3 go up to here. It makes the design of the letter K, okay? It's not only the K, but these angles, okay? I think I call them the 10-10 angles. 10 minutes before the hour, 10 minutes after the hour, 45 degrees. It's moved 45 degrees the time. That's, you see, I don't only use it as 45 minutes or 10 minutes. I also look that the angle of where this thing is in between. It's in between here and here. Okay, 45. This in here is 45, and over here would be the other 45. Am I right? Anyways, whatever that angle is, it's the same angle for both sides. I've always counted it as 45. Half, and then the other half. Half, and the other half. 45, 45 angle. Everybody knows 45 is the wolf. 9 times 5, 45. Wolf. 5 and 4, 9. 4 by 5, 20. Makes the 2 world beta of the 10 commands, the 10 world of man. 4 and 5 is 9, and 20, 29. 9 is I. It's the I birth. 29. It's so simple. If I would have the crowd right here, and I can show you exactly if you have the interest, and everybody's probably asking, what the hell is he telling us this all for? Chapter 28. You're sitting on the back of your bed. The guy comes on, you're reading a book. But no, it's a screen that opens up, and a gentleman comes in, and not a bad-looking gentleman, besides that, with sunglasses on and blue eyes. It's 2:56 p.m. on the 18th of the 1 of 2012. And he comes to tell a story just like in a book. So I'm a book. I talk. It's a book talking to you. So what am I coming on to do? You're reading and watching. It's okay. Don't worry. Don't worry, why are you reading that book? Your husband's going to say, why are you watching that book? First of all, let me tell you one thing about this whole thing. I'm a little upset. I got 21% of the females watching me. I want 70% of the females watching me because this is their world. Okay? This is their world. Everybody knows that in this project I'm in, it's all about 2. Okay? It's all about 2. It's the earth, it's the nature, it's the mother nature, it's the female world. She's the number 2, we're the number 1, and we're the biggest pain in the butt. You know what I'm saying? If you got two cheeks in the back, they're rubby and they're round. You got one point in the front and you're poking into everybody. Man's a bigger spade than anybody in the world. Oh my God. Man must be the spade and the woman must be the heart. Man. Anyways, at the same time, what I'm going to show you is in between 7 and 9 is 8. In between 7 and 9 is 8. In between 7 and 9 is 8. The 888 world. You don't live down here. Your basis, okay, like I showed you, is straight across, and then your energy is up this way, and then up this way. Okay? You have to understand, we're not 4D. Well, at least I don't think we're 4D. We may be 4D in there, but this body, well, there's something wrong with it. Another thing I'm going to get to, I'm going to jump off of this onto something else, okay? And I'm just going to show you what the dice do. How and why they did this to the dice. And it's not the totality of this equation because it's a long equation. I shortened it up to the itty bitty so everybody can hopefully understand MrTacpans for one time. For one time, MrTacpans wants to be understood because you know what? In all the joking and craziness that I come on here to do, in all the fun and the raising of hell that I want the Russians to come in all reality, I've seen these things, I feel it. I see what's coming, I listen to the people, I listen to enough to get a vibration, what comes on inside this world and what is needed. I know I have it good enough inside my heart to try my best to get something done, at least to get across the word that there is a Christ out there. You want to believe in Hashem? Why don't you look at reality? The church does not exist. It is a word made up of a CH to mean creation, heaven. The U is because the world that is put together with the U of Urantia that rehooks the pipes back up together is the U in the church of who you are in the W beta creation world, our angel resident CH creation heaven. They start with the Alpha Omega. It's a church, right? Religion means there are certain rules you must obey and follow being here on this planet, okay? We are a pine needle on the planet, okay? We have to act the way pine needles act, okay? If we don't, we will fall. Why are we like pine needles? Because we're not the purity of the planet. The nature is the purity of the planet. It acts upon nature. Man comes in and he chooses upon what his nature is all about, and whatever nature does. So he always thinks, didn't you forget? You swallowed the air. You are compacted and impacted by drinking the water. You are engulfed with this world. You are nothing. Who are you? Take yourself apart and put it in a bowl. You'll have to get a bucket and a bag. And a place to put a couple of marbles. And pick up sticks. There ain't gonna be nothing left. They'll cut your hair out, they'll make a doll out of your bones. Don't worry, your bones last a long time, it's okay. But all in general, even if they take you all apart, who are you? You're mostly what you eat, okay? Your mind is how you think, how you act against yourself, how you really truthfully understand what the mind really does, especially when you can separate it inside the two worlds and more. Because I can't and won't and do not think I can get back there on my own. I've been there once. I've been there twice. I've been there 3 times, and every single time I was scared shit. I had to come back. Some nights I used to sit up and watch it. I had seen things, and just certain things that I saw were bringing visions on to what my thinking should be and what kind of videos I would do. So does this exist? Okay, is there a moisture in the air? I know there's something. I know there's an element. You see, if I was a scientist, somebody can come on, but I can take it one step further. The more I know of the scientific part of it, the more I can take that step just one step further. Okay, this is what I want to show you, okay, to start with. Here is the 1 dice, alpha, okay. Here is the 2. You took the 1, he split them apart in each corner. Okay, you now have the 2 dice. To make the 3 dice, you need the 1, put it in the 2, you get the 3. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Now here's where the formation changes. Okay, watch this. The reason for 2, 3, 4 or 4, 3, 2 is this move over here, where the 2 and the 3, okay, create the 5. B, C, E. B, C, E. Beck. Bell, Canada, Enterprises, Communication, Telephones, Internet, TV, Bell Canada. Okay. And if you really look, okay, the 1 you call an ace. Okay. A, C, E. Same line. You spell the word of the number on the same line, A, C, E. Now the reason, okay, for this one here, B, all you have to do to take the B is turn it sideways, and it creates its same formation like this, but now in 4 corners, making it a double B, which will be a double B, which would be a single D from the B family. And in order to get another one and create the 6, what you have to do to this dice over here is turn it sideways in between here and here. This dice cannot stand, this dice cannot stand up square and fit in these 2 spots here. It must be turned. And that's why when I tell you everything is turned and the rain comes in on an angle, because that's the way it's set up. It's set up that way because I showed you that V gives you more southern hemisphere temperatures rather than the temperatures from the South Pole or the North Pole. That's why it should be set up that way, because it's common sense. I don't have to be a scientist to figure that out, do I? Yeah, you are. The minute you know that, you are a scientist. A scientist? What kind of scientist? Forget about science. We're going to get back in there. So now, you know the 1 creates the 1 comes here to split to create the 2. Comes in here, 2 of these dice creates the 3. These 2 make the 5. The 2 2s make this. Or the 5 remove the 1 makes this. And then we create the 6. Now at the same time in the 6, what you have to understand, right, is because you use 3 2 dice to make this one here. 2, 2, 2. 2, 2, 2. 2, 2, 2 Trinity is 74. 74 is the number of Christ. It just is. I can't explain it. It's a big thing. 7 times 4 is 28. E-I-N letter for Einstein. It means the beta world. It means time heaven. Okay? That's what it means. God is 7-5. The reason for God is 7-5 is because on the 6 dice over here, there's 6 of them, and the 7th position would be in the center. So although it's not the 7 number corner, it's the 7th position, because there's only 2 number digits here. If there would be 4 number digits here, it would mean something completely different, and the equation wouldn't look like this anymore. And that's why it's number 74. I call it the 4 corners, okay, of the number 4. And the 1 dot in the center automatically tells you, right, it's a 5 card, if you understand. So 7 represents also 5. Now in the Jewish calendar, we're coming up to the year 5775, okay? Anyways, on your telephone, okay, 456 on your telephone, okay? 4 take away 2 from 6, 2. 5 take away 5, 0. 6 minus 4, 2. Now if you go a little bit further on this paper, right? 258 right next to the 456 on the telephone, it makes the Jesus cross. This makes the Jesus cross, these numbers. 258, okay? 2 take away from 8, 6. 5 take away from 5, 0. 8 take away from 2, 6. 606 plus 202, 808. This makes the Jesus cross on the telephone. Okay? It's that perfect. Because it's a square. The scientists know. I know there's a guy out there, his name is Marco Rodin or something. I watch his stuff. I can't keep up to him, but I'm with him all the way. I'm with him all the way. He's just going through the maze. It's just a maze, and it's all numbers. It's all complete numbers, because once you start putting the numbers in the right order, the maze just keeps repeating and keeps repeating. So it just grows, and it's unlimited. It's insane. And, oh, hold on a second. Who am I? I looked in the mirror before. They called me Raphael Ronald. They called me all kinds of names. Call me anything you want. But you know what? I ain't got a home phone, so you can't call me here. Anyways, the message has been sent. Okay, so we've done that, and I showed you this. And there's another thing I wanted to show you. There was a guy out there, and he did this amazing puzzle by minusing 20, adding 10, 11, and 12. And anyways, can I get into this? No. Okay, no. I'm gonna skip that part. What I'm gonna try to get into now is the. You guys are okay with me? Should I start another video? Yeah, I'm gonna start another video. Listen, ask me anything. I work on this 4, 8, 10, 12, 15 hours a day if I could. But when I get my energy and my videos don't go through, I don't like that, and it's hard to continue, and I always put it down and pick it up again and come on back. You got to ask me anything, I just work on the same thing. I've been working on the same stuff for a year and a half, and it just keeps getting stronger, and as it gets, because it's hard to expand, okay, solidly. You got to piece together, expand it and piece together, and then you'll see, the puzzle worked, or, I must be really screwed up. There's nothing that works around here. I'm just like the movie A Beautiful Mind. Russell Crowe. That's the way it is. Yeah, I think it's just like that. Because you see, look, there it is. You see, I showed you it. Here, look at it again. Yeah. So what do you think? Is my work good? Look, I'm showing you. Come on. I see you're not lifting your head fast enough to look. I'm going to give you one more try. I don't even know if I should give you one more try. I gave you 1 try. I gave you 2 tries. I gave you 3 tries. I gave you 4 tries. Isn't that the way we always count? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 for 1. You always have that one last try. That's why they call it the pin key. P7, I9, N5, 7, 9, 5, 16, 21. Pinky. Number count, 21. 2 and 1 is 3. Bingo! Creation. When 12 goes to 21 is a difference of 9. Everything gets turned around, and it's now, instead of just a spirit of beta, it's now the creation spirit of beta. Okay, we ended here. Do we bring it on anymore? What didn't we talk about? Okay, we must be strong. Okay, I don't understand the whole effect of the entire world. I don't understand why there's 3 billion people in the Asian society, and apparently it's 10 Jews that are taking over the world. Are they just taking over the British world and the American world? But it can't happen that way, because they need the Suez Canal. In my thing, when I fix on something, I'm going all the way. I'm not leaving this for nothing. The Suez Canal is in there, the railroads are in there, communications are in there. But the U.S. Post says, don't touch my mail, we'll take you to jail, but now they're breaking open everybody else's mail. What, the internet mail is any different than any other mail that gets delivered with a stamp? Because it gets delivered with a stamp, it's now important. But if you don't put the U.S. stamp on it, now they can look inside the mail? Well, let me tell you one thing. The minute you get on to your internet, and any internet site you get onto, okay, everyone is stamped. It says it at the beginning. Privacy stamp, privacy code, issue code. Everyone's coded. Therefore, whatever we do is now U.S. mail. So it's private. Ask Santa Claus. The Santa is the spirit angel The N is a passage. The T is what the transmission of the energies, whatever gets transfers, anything that is sent for whatever matter. However, if it's someone to your house, if it's an energy, it's still sent. U.S. mail says, okay, they will lock you up. So that U.S. mail, that means your mail has to be important and nobody can touch your mail because that's been in there since that guy got on a horse and rode into town. I got U.S. mail. Hold on, everybody. U.S. mail coming in. Everybody lie on the floor. Girls, skirts up. Okay, hide the U.S. mail. It's to hide the U.S. mail. Everybody wanted the U.S. mail. What made the U.S. mail so important? Right? Definitely this fixes into everything. Oh, and another thing, when I told you about 1776, okay, in fact, 222, like I showed you in this paper, 222 times 8 is 1776. And George Washington's birthday apparently started in 1792, is when they started having the, what's it called? His birthday thingy. You know, they started having a holiday for his birthday. So from 1792 to 2014, MrTacpans, you coming in? Yeah. That makes 222 years. What do you think? Let me figure this out. Month of February, 29th. Gotta figure this out to the month of October because 10/4 everything ends, right? The MAYAN say the most unluckiest days are the first 5 days of October. Therefore, the 5th day is the end day. The 4th day is the last day. It made the cycle. 2, 4, 6, 8. Who do we appreciate? Back to 0 again. Back to 0 and love. 2, 4, 6, 8. Love. Because that's what it's all about. It's all about love. 9 times 5 is 54. Love. 45, the fox. 45, 45, 2 foxes. I and I enter this world. The 9 birth of the 5 passage of the 9 birth of the I robot. 54, 45, 2 foxes. 90 degree angle, the L angle for the queen. The fox, oh my God. 45, the fox. Fox, F-O-X, 666. I know you can't see it. 789 is 24. That's an X letter. 4 and 2 is 6. 4, 5, 6 is 15. 1 and 5 is 6. Was the O letter. And the first 1, 2, 3 obviously is 1, 2, 3, 6, which is the F letter, F-O-X, and get your hands off of it because she's mine. She's my fox because no one fucks with my fox. She's in there and she's beautiful and I'm in love with her because she's my fox. And you know what? Sometimes me and my foxy lady, like if you don't know where I'm going with my foxy lady, that foxy lady's my mind, okay? Without her, I'm nowhere. She keeps everything intact. Hey, lady, did you clean up today? She cleans up all the time after all my mess. I pay for it, of course, slightly, just a little bit, just for a little bit of time. Just for a little bit of time, my human body pays for it, and then I go up and I screw up again, and I pay for it again, but my robot up there, he goes, well, you're paying for it, man. He says, I'm trying to show you the right way, but he says, you take the wrong road. He says, you're on your own, buddy. What do you think my angel does? He lights up a joint and he goes out. You know what my angel does half a day? Well, I'm busy doing all this stuff, okay? He's out growing weeds somewhere. Sure. That's all they do in heaven, man, is grow weed. Why? Because when the weeds push, everything roots and ties together. And the better the ties you have, the better the lead, the better the lead. Or the unleaded, the yellow energy, the octane, the Christ, the yellow. The mellow yellow of Christ is an energy of fire, power. Does anybody know what I talk about with that yellow, what that yellow does? Okay, the power of the universe, the energy of blue into this navy blue world of the sky, okay, infiltrates in with red, the blood of God. They mix together and they come into the system. Jesus is the energy. That's all it is. And of course, They got the name from somebody, and the one who uses the energy is Christ. What do you want? Hashem is too busy. Hashem has got other havens and hives and bees and angels to take care of. He said, to my only son, I give unto you the planet Heart. He said heart. One spoke English, one spoke French. So he doesn't hear heart because he can't pronounce the H. So what's the next letter after H? It's E-A-R-T-H, earth. So now the heart from one side saw it as earth on the other side. As the dog was up, the God was down. As the lead was in, the backward deal was out. What was up was a pooey stink. What was down, Adonai doing to win, like you've heard from me before. Where is that MrTacpans shirt? I think everybody should own a MrTacpans shirt, and that should say somewhere on there, the Lion King, we are out to defend the circle of life and restore the kingdom. You know what? And I haven't said this before. 432, 43210, 432. Without the hurts, right? We cannot find an equilibrium between us and the animals. The Earth's tilt, the way I understand it, is at 60 minutes right now. That's what it's all about. 60 minutes, 3,600 seconds, 3 6 creation of man. In 60 minutes, the Earth can move 15 degrees. So should there be a Mayan realization, the Earth must move 15 degrees. Why should it move 15 degrees? Because 15 degrees, there are 72 clicks on 5 degrees in a 360 degree day around. Okay, 72. We must move back to what rotation brought life. 9 by 5 is 45. It means the birth. But 5 on the key, on the typewriter, has the percentage sign. Okay? And what that does, okay, what that percentage sign does is I'm gonna try and show you that it makes this design, okay, but it makes other designs. I made something better. Sorry, I didn't make that very well. I shouldn't have showed you, but that's 6 and 9. Okay, I don't know what Aries, Pisces, which one it is. It's like the 6 and the 9 that have it tied at the ends. Is it the 2 girls? Because we're coming back into, when you come back into a cycle, there's got to be the last cycle, the next cycle, and this cycle. The higher cycle and the lower cycle, the east cycle and the west cycle, the north cycle, and that's where we are. Okay, so what happens is the 72 turns of 5 degrees at 360 degrees that makes up our day is out of kilter. We might be, okay, I'm hoping not, at 75, okay? We might be at 75, okay? And we're into the year 5775 in the Hebrew calendar, October 4th, 2014, okay? Now, we might be at 75, okay? It is 72 in this world, and that's what we need to make our day, is the 72. Okay, so do we have to come from 75 to 72? Which is 3 cycles, which is 15 degrees. Okay, and that's not the only thing. It could be that we might have to go all the way down to 69, which is like yanking the Earth, and where Quebec is right now, putting it about near Albany, let's say. Putting Quebec near Albany, something like that. Like 80 miles. It's going to go this way or that way, but because I live in Quebec, I love the winter, but I think it doesn't matter. Our winters are going to be different. I think we're going to get a different snowfall. The EGGE, our situation, instead of sitting like this, we might be more like this now, and we might get more of a consistent winter because we're not like this. It's not going to be as cold there. Everything's going to be more even. We're going to get a little bit more snow because now that the new machine has been installed by God in the entire universe, it's going to start reflecting on our planet. So if we move back into position, Earth position 69, which would lay the egg down at the 69 degree mark, okay? which means 15 degrees. Okay, it should be laid down like this. The egg is like this. It's going to rock for sure. An egg has to be down like this. Okay, we should just really be moving all the way around. Okay, but I'm looking at 1 hour and at the most 3 hours. 3 hours is 45. 3 hours is 45 degrees of 360 degrees. So, and it's not the same kind of rotation anyways. How can I explain it? It's let's say it's like this. Well, it'll be like this. You know, we're always saying 11, 11, right? 5 degrees this way, 5 degrees that. Well, it's basically the same thing. It's just going back into its clock. And this is a conscience thing. This is deep. This is something that's crazy, man. If you don't catch me on the right day, I'm going to say, what? I said that? I never said that. I never said that. Wait a second. Power surge. Why power surge? All God has to do is click. The whole world stops. Because we're connected to a power box, okay? Listen to what happens. You see me on this side, now you see me on this side. Your death, you will never know. But you're going to wake up somewhere else, and that's what you're going to know. You're going to know you're awakening, but you're not going to know you're passing unless you reflect at the time that you're dying. Because you go from one world, zoop into the next world, and it's all in harmony, especially if you're a good person. I don't believe the correctional center starts right away. I think you get to blend into the world, and then you have to reflect on your whole life. It's all like that. Everybody knows. You got to reflect on your life. And then watch the movies of everybody else's life. Because guess what? Up in heaven, there ain't no secrets. No more secrets, my friends. 7286. I'll be back with something else. I have a little something about the Illuminati. Just some designs I did, all right? Bye.